Welcome back. According to recent statistics, nearly 30% of Americans act as a family caregiver, with nearly 25% of caregivers spending 41 hours or more a week on caregiving duties, which is an enormous responsibility. So with that said, we have an RN here who specializes in caregiving to help all those amazing caregivers with advice and support. Ryan Grassmeyer, thank you so much for being here.
So, thank you for having me.
I know, full disclosure, I've known Ryan for decades.
You're
one of my favorite
decades.
humans. You're one of my favorite people.
Stop, you are my favorite, all right? And coming back to Colorado and seeing you on TV every time is such a treat. I'm like, oh, there's Sammy.
And we're gonna talk.
You were just with Kim Christensen, she's royalty.
She is royalty.
I just saw her walk by, that was special.
She is a queen.
I've been a 9 News fan since I was this big.
Yeah, so Ryan grew up in Boulder, Colorado. He goes back and forth to LA, and we're gonna get to your LA, I wanna say alter ego.
Sure.
We're gonna get to that, but first, just simply, what is the role of a caregiver?
Okay, a caregiver's role is to basically help people with their activities of daily living. You know, just your basic stuff like, you know, dressing, bathroom, showering, laundry, meal prep, things like this, but also sort of really emphasizing independence and dignity and compassion along the lines of all those. So like trying to give people, you know, the opportunity to do as much as they can without having to do too much for them, but you're just helping everyone with just normal daily stuff. Yeah.
Right, which I do know when we get feedback from our viewers, we get a number of the viewers saying that they are caregivers for a loved one. So this is really important to have you here. And some of them will express to me that 3 o'clock with Alexandra and I, my co-anchor, you didn't get to meet her, but she's wonderful.
She is also lovely.
She is lovely.
Is she doing a marriage thing right now? What's happening?
She's
Oh my
doing
gosh, congratulations, Alex.
She's in Maui. So people will say that 3 o'clock can be like an escape for them because the responsibility is so much, and some of them are struggling with feeling overwhelmed, but then also feeling guilty. So what advice could you give a caregiver to, of course, be their best self, but while also taking care of themselves?
Yeah, all right. My best advice is basically, you know, neglect is abuse in our industry. Even neglecting your patient or something they need, that is abuse. So doing that to yourself is self-abuse, you know? The opposite of, you know, kind of self-love and like, you know, putting yourself forward. So you need to find times to actually take care of yourself. It's tough when you do have to take care of somebody else and it's taking over your entire life. That's when you have to really sort of lean on community and make sure that you have built a care plan with, you know, family members and friends, neighbors, church, you know, a book group, you know, a bowling league, anything that you can find community in are people that you can do favors for, they can do favors for you, they can step in, and also just having your own hobbies like bowling or reading or golf or whatever to keep you sane in the off times. Yeah.
Because if you fill your cup, then you can fill someone else's.
Yes. If I didn't have yoga, I would be insane. You know, if I didn't have my community garden, I would literally be insane right now.
I can only imagine. And then quickly, because I want to get to you, what advice would you give someone who they feel like their relationship's getting strained? Let's say it's a husband and wife, and they're caring for one another, or one's caring for the other, and they are building resentment. Yeah.
So resentment is it's a very real thing. And what's really kind of happening now is people, because they're becoming caretakers for their family members and it's taking over their own lives, it's tough. It becomes a strain on everything. The best way I feel is there's a lot of actual companies you can become a caretaker that's paid for your family member.
Really?
There's one that I think is in Colorado, Arizona, and a bunch of other places. But yes, you get certified and trained in like a day or two. I think it's a couple of sessions. Then I think you have to do CPR certification training. But then you can actually get paid through Medicare to be your own family's caretaker. You'll be empowered, and you'll be able to sort of supplement that income you're not getting by being able to work for your family. And then and you won't feel that guilt. And the resentment sort of goes away. It's tough because it builds up, and you have to be able to purge it. And if you can't find something outside of that,
it'll build up.
It'll build up. And so that's why you really need, like, you know, it's tough because siblings, things like this, it'll get strained with that relationship and things like this.
And we don't want that.
No. So like,
I'm not going to cut you off, but I need to tell everybody who you are.
Hi.
So a lot of people might recognize Ryan from Henry Danger and Danger Force. You tell your character's name, because I don't want to say.
Okay, it's me, and it's stupid Jeff. Jeff
Bilski.
Oh my gosh, there I am doing the splits.